Welcome to Cigars on the Front Porch. It's your host, Uncle Scotty, and we're recording episode number 38. It is 4:37 on November the 14th, and it is about 53 degrees outside. It's raining, so a little chilly. High today is supposed to be 61. I haven't seen that. And I'm just outside in the cigar lounge. And I got a little diesel going. I think it's a diesel 10th. Yeah, diesel 10th. Yeah, diesel 10th. Hopefully I can get one in shortly before it's time to get myself situated later on this evening. So on episode 38, today we're going to be talking about just a quick subject, very important, crucial to cigars, and it's called resting your cigars. And for those that the uninitiated, those that don't know, resting your cigars is simply meaning to letting the cigars acclimate to the humidity and the temperature of your preference. I would say of your humidor. Cigars, when you get them from, let's say, from a brick and mortar shop, that particular shop has a set temperature in their humidity based on the owner of how they go about doing things. So with that particular humidor, it may not be catered to what you like or your preference. So that's one aspect. Another aspect of that particular humidor is that you don't know when the cigars came in. So the cigars may have been shipped in from across the country, overseas, you don't know. And that particular owner may just have had them in the box and took them out the box that morning when he opened the store. And then he or she, just had them stocked in there, and you just come in and those cigars have not had a chance to acclimate to that humidor. That's a possibility. It just depends on the owner and how they do it. Some owners may let them sit in there and mark them and let them get acclimated, then have them for sale. But I have gone places or been at a place where they just literally just took them out of the box and sold them. And then by trial and error, I learned the hard way. I got the cigar, which I was just learning. And it was a friend of mine bought it for me. And it was like a $30-something cigar, and it was like horrible. It was horrible. It was acrid. It's bitter. Didn't really have any flavor. And I was like, whoa, what happened? That's a name brand cigar, but that cigar has been transported, and then transporting the cigar from one place to the next, the temperature and the humidity is going to be different. Cigars are built to last. I got some in my humidor that are 3 years old. I'll keep them for a decade. As long as you take care of the cigars, in my opinion, my belief, they'll last indefinitely. You just have to take care of them. You know, I say all that to bring it to add illustration, to add a point to it. There could be other factors in that particular humidor that you may be unaware of. So when you get your cigars from a brick and mortar shop, your instant part would be to light the cigar up, which you could if it's a reputable, dependable cigar shop. I would probably talk to the owner or talk to somebody who is selling the cigars and just ask them, say, hey, how long have these been in here in the humidor, in your humidor? And what do you set your humidor at? Hopefully they will be able to give you an answer. If they give you one of those, well, I don't know. I don't think I don't want to buy a cigar and light it up. I don't, and he may not know because it's probably hundreds in there, but they should have an estimate. Oh, I had those in there last week, or I just put those out 2 days ago, or they've been in there for about 3 months now. He should have an estimate if they're, to me, if they're thorough. Especially if that's what you do. I mean, I can go to that box and say, hey, look, I know for a fact I put that box out 2 months ago. You know, if they can't do that, then there's nobody in there that can answer that question, then I'm like suspect. I'm like, I don't know about this. Because I don't want to buy a cigar in a brick and mortar and it be a bad experience because the cigar hasn't had a chance to acclimate. The humidity on that cigar could be high, or the humidity on that cigar could be low. Now, there's another way of doing it. You can get an individual tool that can check the you can get a tool that can check the individual humidity and the temperature of that cigar. You can get them on Amazon or whatnot. I think I'll have them posted on Instagram. On my Instagram channel, where you can buy the individual. I think I got it $30, $40, something like that. It was less than $50. Um, and I can check the individual humidity and the temperature of that cigar if I choose to before I light it up. So that, but like I said, you've already purchased it. It's not like you can check them and then put them back and check them and put them back. So once you purchase it, you can check it, but once again, you putting holes in it. So it's a hit or miss. So I would ask questions. It takes 2-3 minutes to do that. Some cigar shops, some brick and mortars will let you bring in your cigars as long as you purchase something from their store. Those are the ones I like to go to because I can bring in my cigars, buy some of theirs, put them in my humidor to take home to let them rest. And then I know the cigars that I brought have rested, and then I can do those, and then I'm purchasing patronage and, purchasing something from their store. So if I can come across a store that lets me do that, I'm cool. Then some stores, they don't want you to bring in your cigars from the outside. They want you to purchase, which is understandable. It's a business. Just ask the owner. Say, hey, look, how long have this particular cigar been in there that I'm interested in purchasing? And hopefully you should give you an answer. If you say I don't know, then I don't know either. So I can buy the cigar and just let it sit, or take a chance on it and see. That's why I like to be able to bring my own cigars if I can. It's not like I'm cheap. I just don't. I want my experience. I'm blocking out 2 hours of my time, and I want my experience to be as best possible. And I'm spending money, so I don't want to spend money on something and blocking out 2 hours of my time, and it was a bust. It was a waste. So those are some of the things about resting your cigar. So just don't trust the owner how they're going to do it unless someone you trust, you frequent. Like I go to this particular shop, I know how to keep the humidor. The only question is how long these have been in there. And for resting the cigars, I like to rest mine. Now you pick your own personal choice. I like to rest my cigars for at least 2 weeks or longer. That's just by trial and error. So also this works on impulse control too. If you have an issue with poor impulse control, this will work. Because your thing is you see the cigar, ooh, I like this one. I want this one. And then you purchase it and it's like, ooh, I want to light it up right now. And it's like, yeah, you could. And you take a chance, whatever your percentage is, maybe 50-50, that the cigar is rested well, that the humidity is not too low or not too high, the temperature of the cigar. I always do a pinch test on the cigar that I'm purchasing. I'll do another video on some cigar etiquette when you go into a cigar shop or different things. You know, that's another video. But episode 38 is going to be on resting the cigar. So those are some advantages of or disadvantages of buying from a brick and mortar. Now I'm gonna do an illustration. This is a first, so I'm excited of how I get my cigars. I order my cigars 90% of them through online bidding. I get 5, 10 cigars. I haven't gotten 20 yet, but maybe I'll look up and I get 20. I set my budget and I don't go over my budget. That's another thing. Having a hobby of cigars is not cheap. It's a good. That's why I create a budget. I think just because you got it don't mean you got to spend it. So if I have $100, don't mean I got to spend $100. I can spend $5, $1. So use your money wisely. It's a tool. So what I want to do is I'll talk to you about resting your cigars. The next thing is online. I just got some today. It usually takes them 4 or 5 days to get here. And put this one down. And I'm going to open it up so you'll see. I blocked out everything as far as the address. That's obvious. Or whatnot. And so they come in a box like this. I got pretty good sized hands. You can see this. And I'm going to open it up. Now, when they're at the post office or however they're shipped, you got temperature changes, most definitely, especially now in any season. In the winter, sometimes it's cold. They're in the back of the truck or van or whatever they transport them in, so the temperatures are going to be different there. They're in the warehouse. The temperatures are going to be there. There's no humidity pack when they come in the mail, so that's going to be different with those as well. And the way they pack these, they pack it with a little air pocket. I don't know what you call these. Little plastic. Usually they're surrounded in the plastic. This one, it was sitting on top of it, which almost kind of defeats the purpose. I would have wrapped it in there better. The majority of the ones I get are done a little bit better, but of course I could be a little bit of a perfectionist. And these are some farce. I think it's a glare. I don't know if we can cut the glare out. But these are some farces. And there are 5 in here, and they're wrapped in the cellophane, and then the individual cigars are wrapped, I believe. I'd have to open it up to look and see. Well, why not? We're doing a video. Let's find out. Most of the cigars, all the cigars I get are wrapped individually in cellophane. They're wrapped as a pack, and then they're wrapped individually. So let's see if we can open this up and see. I don't want to damage the cigar. My friends be picking at me about my little, they call them frog pokers or frog stickers. I don't hunt frogs. Never, I don't think I've ever had frog legs in there. But that's what they call a little frog poker. So there it is. And it's wrapped in individual cellophane. All right. So the package is, now when they come like that in the mail, you have no idea what kind of condition that they're in. You don't know. They could be, I can guarantee you, the humidity and the temp's going to be off on those. I can guarantee that. You just spent good money on those cigars, and they just came through the mail. You don't know what temperature they're at. You don't, and the temperature is going to affect how they're going to burn. The humidity is going to affect the taste of it. So you may have a cigar that's going to burn hot, that has an acrid taste because it hasn't rested. And by resting in your humidor, that means acclimating to your particular type of humidity and temperature that you like. I like to keep mine around 70 plus or minus 5 with the humidity and with the temp. The temp, I don't too much like it going up. The humidity, I can work with it. So it's set at 70. I'll go plus or minus 5. I won't let them go below 65, and I won't let them get below above 75 with the humidity. The same thing with the temp. That's just my personal preference. Now that's the story behind the rule of 70. You can Google that and look that up. But it's just a measuring. So it just depends on what you want. So when they come through the mail, take them. I catalog mine like a library system. I love doing it. It is so relaxing. So I can tell you I got 5 of this one, 4 of that one, and I date them. And I do it on my phone. I put it in my little note section, my note section of my phone. So I know how long I know when that cigar came in, like when I put it in the humidor. I know how many there are, and I know what row they are in there. So I can tell you exactly what my stock number is of a particular cigar. So if somebody say, how many farces you got? Do you have any farces? I'll go through my phone like, yeah, I got 5 there on row. They're on row number 1. So I can go in there with a flashlight or whatever I need to light it up and pull out row 1. There they are. They're sitting right there. And I'll keep up with them. Another thing I started doing, I started taking pictures of when I go somewhere, of how many cigars I take with me. It's a little chronic. Well, I don't think it's chronic. I think it's good. I'm going to compliment myself. Because what happens is if I'm out with people, sometimes I'll give them away. I just think if you have more than what you need, it's okay to give away, but it's not a requirement to give away. And I'm very selective. Like I just don't say, hey, anybody want a cigar? I don't do that. So somebody asks me, or if it's most time I'm with my friends. So if I'm with my friends, some of them will ask me for some of them will trade cigars. Um, but to me, like it's a pet peeve of mine. If you're an avid cigar smoker and you're going out with your friends, you're going to keep a 3-finger or your cigar travel case with you, which holds 5, anywhere between 4 to 6. You're going to keep that with you, or you get a tube and you take one with you, so you can take 1, 3, 4, 5, or 6 with you. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd take 10. That's a lot. But you're going to travel with them, so you're going to go. They're going to be in the car. Unless somebody catches you off guard and you're out riding around, hey man, we're at the cigar shop, come over here with us. And I'm like, man, I ain't got no sticks with me. Well, we got you. Okay, that's understandable. But like, nah, we're going out, we're going to have cigars, and then when you get there, you don't have any. Nah, nah, it's a pet peeve. I got a lot of pet peeves. That's another video, pet peeves of mine. But nevertheless, take those cigars out. I would encourage you to put them in your humidor, let them rest for whatever length of time you feel comfortable. For me, it's 2 weeks plus. So those farces are going to sit in there. It's the middle of November. I'm not going to touch those things at least until December after. It'll probably be next year before I touch those. It'll probably be January or February before I get to those. And people are like, well, how do you do that? Because I started accumulating cigars. So I'll accumulate them, catalog them, put them in there, and then I'll forget about them. I mean, not forget. I don't think about it. And then when I go to do a video or whenever I go to have cigars, the ones I put in there that have been sitting in there for 2 months, like, oh yeah, I remember when I ordered these. I've been waiting to try those. And the humidor, the temperature is right, everything. I've never had a problem with like a cigar that has come out of my humidor with it just being off on the temperature and humidity. I've had some cigars that are not good, but not the humidity and the temperature being off, unless I rushed it. And I found that out the hard way too. So Don't rush your cigars. They're important. Don't rush them. All right. So I'll log those and I'll try those farces probably in 2025. So today's video number 38 is resting your cigars. Resting your cigars is taking your cigars from either a brick and mortar shop or a gift. If somebody gift you some cigars, if you know them, you can ask them, say, hey, they've been in your humidor for how long? What do you keep your humidor set at? Oh, okay. All right. That's within parameters of what I can work with. Because I can tell you, how long they've been in yours. Well, I can look in there and say, hey, look, man, they've been in there since August 21st of, 23. So they've been in there for over a year. The humidity is around 70 and the temp is about the same as well. So, and I got an individual Bluetooth monitor that I put inside my humidor that pops up on my phone. So I can check from my phone as long as I'm within the house how the cigars are running if I want to check them without going to the humidor and open them up and whatnot. And I try to treat the humidor like it's a refrigerator. Know what you want to get before you go in there. So don't go in the humidor and well, let me see, what am I in the mood for? No, it's humidity. So it's only going to be open for a few seconds. As long as it takes me to get the cigar, which is 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds tops. Or I'm getting some from row 4 and there's 2 of them in there, or row 5 and there's 2 of them in there. Then I just open it up, pull it out. I know exactly row 4, row 5, pull that out, get them, push it back, close the door. So I can keep the humidity and temp where I want it at. It doesn't fluctuate. I treat the humidor like it's a refrigerator. When I was a kid, if you open the door too long for the refrigerator, somebody's going to say something to you, and evidently you don't know what you want, so close the refrigerator. They'll be letting all the humidity out of the humidor. So that's today's video, which is resting your cigars. Crucial. Snapshot, quick review. Get your cigars and set them, whether you get them from a brick and mortar or whether you get them by mail or where someone gives them to you, is to rest your cigars and get them acclimated to the temperature and the humidity that you desire, that you want. If you don't know, ask. If you're unsure, it doesn't hurt to let them sit, or you can roll the dice and take a chance to see what you get. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it ain't. I've gone into brick and mortars and got cigars out of there, fired them up, best ever. Went to a brick and mortar, got some cigars, fired them up, didn't like it. But I've never gotten a cigar out of my humidor and it not be right. Even when you go to your friend's house and they offer you a cigar out of there, just ask them, say, hey man, you mind me asking how long it's been in your humidor? And if they get annoyed by it, then I ask them, say, hey, look, man, would you take a glass of milk from me? If I offered it to you, you would think that the milk would be just fine. I wouldn't offer you a sour glass of milk, right? But if you say, hey, Scotty, how long? Just okay, that's good. Like, yeah, I got you. Or if you trust them, if they hand you one, take it. Don't worry about it. But rest your cigars, whether they're given to you as a gift, whether you get them from a brick and mortar, or whether you order them by mail. I strongly encourage you, do not get a cigar and you're not sure of it. You may be wasting your time and your money. And you may be, most importantly, your experience. Your experience with that cigar. So, episode number 38, Cigars on the Front Porch with your host, Uncle Scotty. Thank you for being with me for this past 25 minutes. I'm outside in the cigar lounge tent, aka Cigars on the Front Porch with your host, Uncle Scotty. As I conclude for the day, thank you for sitting with me on resting your cigars. Remember, you're special, you're important, you're valuable to yourself. First and foremost, love you the way you should be loved, and nobody else can do that. I couldn't more strongly encourage that. Every day I find a way to love on myself. It could be something simple as putting lotion on. I fixed a cup of coffee today. I'm going to take a good shower when I get out of here. I'm going to lotion up. I'm going to steam my clothes. whatever it is, love you. It's nobody's responsibility to love you but you. And you can't expect other people to love you the way you want to be loved or the way you feel you should be loved. Some people will, but you can't guarantee that. The only thing you can guarantee is love yourself. Build yourself up. It's your responsibility, it's your duty. Not only is it your life, it's your responsibility to love you. If you depend on other people to love you the way you feel like you should be loved, you're going to be disappointed. Every single time, you're going to be disappointed. And sometimes if people love on you too much and you ain't used to it, you don't know how to handle it. But if you love on yourself, you're prepared for that. And if people come in and out of your life like seasons, you're going to be sad and disappointed. Love on yourself, and you're important. And you can do it any kind of way you want to do it. Just love on yourself, a healthy, good way. It's your host, Uncle Scotty. Episode 38, Cigars on the Front Porch. Rest in your cigars. Till the next time.